know this is what happened with success. Because sometimes, Skip, I mean, there are two things at play here. Maybe he's looking at it and says, hold on, looking at this roster, looking at we about to be in luxury tax hell, and I might be willing to stay and try to rebuild this thing, but I might need a little bit more. I might need a little more money. Maybe I can do this for an extra $5, $8, $10 million. Mm-hmm. Maybe he's saying, you know what? Nah, it's just time for me to exit stage left.
Yeah.
But what normally happens, and this is something that I've been through having won 3 championships, Skip, when you win championships, you start to get people that feel that they're more important and they're the main reason that you won.
Yep.
You get the groundskeeper say, you know what, it was the way we cut the grass. Those practice fields were pristine. That's why y'all did what you did.
Yep.
And you have food services. What about the food that we brought you Wednesday through Saturday? That was the reason why. Everybody, the people that come in and they clean behind you, it was because of them.
Yep.
And then you get players believing that they had a larger role than what they actually have.
Yep.
But a lot of time, and most of the time, and this happened with your team, someone wants more success, wants more credit for work that they didn't do, and this is what happens.
My 90s Cowboys.
Yes. One guy wanted the credit.
Yeah.
He put no game plan in. He was his money, granted. He gave him money, said, go get what you need to get this thing successful. But Jimmy was like, hold on, wait a minute.
But Jerry did go get Charles Haley.
He go get Charles Haley.
Okay.
But it was Jimmy that was picking Troy and picking Emmett and picking Russell Malley and picking Woody and picking Godfrey and picking this one and picking that one. And so now it looks to me, Joe Lacob, and like, wait, we get anybody, Skip, you know how it is, Skip, we get anybody to do this. I know a guy up in New England. Now, Mr. Kraft sat on his hands.
Yeah.
He's like, I ain't finna mess this up. There are some things that Coach Belichick did, I believe, that hurt Mr. Kraft to umpteenth degree.
I would agree.
But he wasn't willing to give up those Super Bowl rings.
Yeah.
I mean, those Lombardis.
Yeah.
Now you get the head coach. It's me. Y'all know it's me. Tom Brady said, it's you? But you did all this?
Yeah.
By yourself? You ain't had no help? No, me. Tom said, I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go on over here. I'm gonna pack my bag. I'm gonna close the door behind me.
Yep.
I'm gonna see what you're gonna do without me. How you looking for it?
Good point.
And that's what happens, Skip.
Yeah.
Why would you not break the Skip? 4 titles in 6 years?
Yep.
He's been there 11 years. 11
years.
They've lost. They lost a couple of times in the finals. They've lost 2 times in the finals, but that's 6 times. That's 6 finals appearances in 11 years.
They had a 3-1 lead once, and Kevin Durant got hurt the other time. Okay.
So we could have easily have a case that could be Steph Curry could easily be 6-0.
Easy. Just easy. Yep.
I don't get this, Skip. Some things are above my pay grade, and when you deal with people like Lacob and Gruber that's made more money than I could ever dream of making, they seem to believe that he's replaceable. And sometimes that's what you get. You get people that believe that you are replaceable, and they mess up a good thing.
Yeah.
I don't. If it's Bob Myers' decision to step away, I'm done with it. But if it was a money thing, get a man a couple of $1 million and work this thing through. Because it seems to me he had a very, very special relationship with Steph Curry. He had a very, very special relationship with Draymond Green.
Very.
And some things you can't put a price on, Skip.
No.
You just can't, just because you're like, you can't
I would throw Steve Kerr in there also.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yes. They talk about, Skip, how they invite the family on and they do things together.
They do.
I wish him the best, but I don't know. This seems like a mistake to me.
Okay. To your final point, if this is just about money, and it could be, then shame on Joe Lacob and Peter Gruber.
Yep.
My gut feeling from a distance is it's not just about money. Look, Bob Myers in the national scope, outside of Dub Nation, as they call it, not a huge figure. He's not exactly a Jerry Westian sort of GM stature figure. But I think I understand why he is stepping down, stepping away. He's basically quitting. He's saying, I'm out, right?
Right.
Because they did offer him a new deal, and I don't know the specifics of it, but I'm sure it was very competitive with whatever the best GMs are making.
Okay.
Yesterday, Joe Lacob said, I'm not going to sit here and tell you I understand it because I don't. But I'm going to tell you from a distance, I think I do. Because Bob Myers sat back and said, I got a pretty good reputation around the league. If I want another job, I'm going to get another job because I'm going to get multiple offers as they come available, right?
Yes.
So I liked what he said. He said all the right things about this job requires complete engagement, a complete effort, 1,000%. If you can't do it, then you shouldn't do it.
Right.
Okay, I got that. He said, I need to, as he said, I like this phrase, sit still for a while. I think we all need to sit still, but we can't.
Can't.
Okay, he needs to just go sit quietly, wife, 3 kids, just get away from it, let his head clear and say, okay, what's my next chapter? Where can I start fresh? Because I think he's getting out while the getting is good. Yeah, because he sees what's coming.
Yeah.
It's going south. The dynasty is ending, and he wants to get out before it ends on his head, right? Because
he ain't going down with the Titanic.
No, he's not. Steve Kerr said the day after all this ended, after the Lakers ended their season in 6 games, that their trust got broken in their organization when Draymond punched Jordan Poole just before the season started.
Right.
The culture that was the best in pro basketball, this side of Miami's, obviously, got fractured by that one shot to the face. Mm-hmm. And Steve is saying we never quite recovered. We never rebuilt the trust that we used to have.
Right.
Because Draymond punched the up-and-coming new third wheel, the new third star.
But you know what, Skip? You have to give Bob Myers and Steve Kerr some credit that they were able to get it back on the tracks and get it as far as they did. Okay. It could have derailed everything.
Okay, but they didn't quite get it back on the tracks in the regular season because the defending champs lost 30 road games. That's preposterous.
That's probably where the trust is needed the most.
Okay, on the road, they lost 30 times. It was the 4th worst road record, obviously behind Detroit and Houston and San Antonio, the 3 bottom feeders.
Right.
The Warriors did that. And then what happened in the 6 games against the Lakers? Steph Curry is now 35 years of age.
Right.
And maybe he showed a touch of age.
Right.
No, I'm not saying he's washed, but maybe he's starting to show a little downside, a little outside the prime. Because in the 6 games against the Lakers, he shot 34% from 3. Well, you know and I know he's 44. He's 48. Mm-hmm. He's the greatest shooter ever. 34%. And your Lakers benefited greatly because every time I kept saying, Steph, go. Okay, you got this, Steph. Right. No, I don't got this. And even Klay shot 34% from the floor. Klay Thompson. And he's on the verge of seeking a new extension for the max.
No,
you're going to do it?
Hell no.
Okay, well, that's what they're saying. That's what Bob Myers, he's saying Klay is so beloved in Dub Nation. Do I really want to have to make that decision?
No.
Okay.
No, you're not giving a guy with that. Skip, we paid him for those 4 titles.
Yeah.
If I give him a max deal, I believe he's going to play like he did when in the process of winning those first 3 titles. Pre-injury. I'm not giving the man $200 million on what he's done. I'm giving the man $200 million on what I believe he can do.
Well said. I agree. I'm with you.
So, no, I'm not giving Klay Thompson.
You want to talk about making a hard call?
It's an easy call, Skip.
Okay. Draymond Green. He's got a player option for it's 27.6 to call it $28 million.
What are you looking for, Draymond? How do look, Skip? I think the thing is, Draymond, how do we get you an extra year plus an option? You're not going to get max money. So we're willing to do your option this year, next year, and a player option, and a player team option, or however option you want to do it. Okay. So basically it's 3 years, but it's 2 years plus 1. How do we get there? What's a number that's comfortable for you, but palatable to us?
All right. I hear what you're saying, but my gut feeling about Draymond from a distance is he's become a little more trouble than he's worth. Okay. And I believe there are those within that organization who believe the same thing. Okay. Once again, beloved in Dub Nation, beloved in the locker room. Guts and glue, at least he has been. He's a little more on the downside. He's not giving you quite the impact he used to give you. Against the Lakers, he averaged 9, 8, and 6. Not bad. Right. Not bad. Kind of Draymond-esque numbers. But really?
Right.
2 for 9 from 3, but he's always 2 for 9 from 3.
But let me ask you a question, though. It's reported that if Draymond comes back, they're looking at $500 million. Skip, how much are a championship worth? If I got to pay $300-400 million a year, I don't care what you say. Championships aren't worth that.
Yeah.
You
to pay the luxury tax.
Yeah, the luxury tax, yes.
Okay, well,
you're already paying those salaries of $100+ million, and now you're gonna pay $300-400 million on top of that. Businessmen look at, okay, we buy for a little, we sell for a lot. Skip, that's buying for a lot and getting charged even more.
Yep. Okay, I've had some dealings with Joe Lacob in the past. I don't really know him, but I feel like I know him a little bit. He's a good guy, but I believe he has become what I call spoiled rotten by all their success.
Yeah.
He thinks you can just snap your fingers and, we can just...
Oh, is that the one that said we changed the game of basketball?
Yes. No, that was back, he told the New York Times magazine.
Yeah.
That was like 2012-ish or 13, 20.
Well, no, they had won the championship.
Okay. They just won?
Yeah, they had just won. I think the first year, the 2015.
Okay, maybe it's 2015, but it seemed like it was very early in the run where you're saying we've changed basketball.
Yeah.
Well, Steph did.
Yeah.
He revolutionized with the three-point shot.
Right.
I got it. But he was saying our culture, our identity, all the above. Okay, now before I get back to Joe Lacob, Steve Kerr. I love Steve Kerr. He's a good man who loves his players to a fault. But he bleeds basketball. He takes it too seriously to me and very personally, and he is a burnout candidate, and you don't think Bob Myers gets that because nobody knows him any better than Bob Myers. So he's looking at the scope of this, and he's saying, boy, Steve's right on the edge. He needs to sit still for a while. He needs to get away from this, but we think he's coming back.
Skip, when you look at it, when you see what they've done over let's say the last 8 years, in the long, long run, it's different now. These players are harder to coach and to manage. They have so much more going on. Back then in the 70s and the 80s, there wasn't no this social media. Wasn't nobody trying to build a brand but Jordan. Now everybody coming to Skip. He the 15th guy on the bench and he building a brand.
And speaking of Jordan, who's not exactly Michael Jordan, Jordan Poole.
Yes.
I think there's some concern within this organization, probably starting with Bob Myers. Is Jordan Poole really an ultimate warrior? Is Jordan Poole really made of warrior championship stuff? I'm not sure about that. And once he got his money, which they gave in and gave him, he did not play up to his contract.
No, he didn't, especially against the Lakers. I mean, I think he had that one shining moment. But no. For the kind of money that they paid him, excess of, I think, $30 million a year.
I'm talking about basketball backbone, hardcore championship character. Does he have that? Because obviously Steph and Clay have it.
Well, he's trying to become that, Skip. And you notice that they try to talk to him. It's about his menace, and he's moping, he's pouting. Draymond, he's not going to listen to Draymond. Draymond is not going to be able to get through him ever again. Even Steph tried to like, look, bro, hey, we're a team. This is what we do. We don't argue about minutes. We play. We do what we do. And so the question is, Skip, will it ever be, I don't know how you put that genie back in that bottle once you've broken the bottle, because it's out.
It's out.
And it was
way out.
It's 1,000 pieces.
And you kept saying, who leaked the video? Somebody leaked it on Draymond. Somebody wanted to do damage to Draymond. And we never heard. Joe Lacob said, we're going to get to the bottom of this. We didn't get to the bottom of it.
Guess who at the bottom of it? That's why they didn't get to it. They at the bottom of it.
All right. Now back to Joe Lacob. Clearly, his son is being groomed in the basketball department to replace Bob Myers at some point. Well, he is. It's Chris, and his title is Executive Vice President of Basketball Operations. Now, they also have...
Mike Dunleavy?
Dunleavy is the VP of Basketball Operations. I'm not sure about... But one's the Executive Vice President. So I think Kirk is a pay grade above, right, Mike Dunleavy. And again, I never loved Mike. You can go back and look what I said the night they drafted him. I said, this is a bad idea. But as far as this job, I think he could be great at this job. And they lauded and applauded him yesterday. But I know what's coming. You know what's coming. The man owns the team. It's like Jerry and Stephen Jones. What's coming? Help me out here. Stephen's coming, right? Okay. Kirk is coming, and Bob sees it, and Bob's like, you know what? this whole thing is teetering. I just gave you like 12 reasons why Bob Myers finally said, I'm going to be just fine because I'll get another job.
Right.
I could take a year off and just cool out and refresh and revitalize and get ready. And then I can start elsewhere with much better circumstances than we have right here, right now. Not only is it teetering, it feels like the dynasty is dying. And I'm going to leave you with, remember what the great Branch Rickey said in baseball, the ultimate maxim was, you must trade a player a year before you think you should. Well, it's operating on all these things we just talked about. Don't try to salvage one more year because you're going to lose with it, right?
You don't want him to down the vine on your watch.
Yeah, okay, there you go. So I think he made the right choice.
Yeah, you could be right. I mean, that big luxury tax that's coming, it's coming. And I don't know how you keep all these pieces. There's no possible way they could possibly give Clay a max deal, Skip, with what's coming down the tunnel for them.
Yeah. Warriors had a great run, but I'm sure it's going to continue.
Thanks for watching, Undisputed fans. Subscribe here to get the very latest from Skip and Shannon. Plus, go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.